of Allah, even just with the 10,000 billion stars, and I think to myself, look what we are sitting here on Earth doing. You know, how that pales into insignificance compared to what might be Allah's plan for us. What if we missed His plan? You know, I would rather suffer for having been wrong than to have missed the opportunity to even think that maybe Islam is really as grand as this plan that I have been proposing, that may be Allah's true plan for His existence. The way that I've read the Quran in English translation with commentary 5 times now, and although it is hard for me to pick out, I can't really explain to you the way that I am as a scientist. But I have learned to pull data together from a lot of different areas and to take a subtle hint and see a subtle hint here and a subtle hint there and put them together, and now they are much more than a subtle hint. And I feel like everything that I have said is in something I have seen in Quran, in Sunnah, or interpretation of various scholars. Absolutely everything I have said to you, I feel like I have seen somewhere, not exactly in my words, of course, my words are scientifically oriented words, but the ideas that I have presented, I feel are sitting there. And I think if we take a really narrow view of Quranic interpretation and interpretation of Sunnah, that we are not going to ever see the full beauty and wonder of Islam. And I know that it is the scholarly position of Islam that not that we are to be reinterpreting to find a new interpretation, but we are constantly supposed to be furthering and progressing in our interpretation based on new information that comes in. In other words, at the time of our beloved Prophet Muhammad in Medina, they had a very naive view that they didn't know there were 10,000 billion stars, they didn't know there were protons, neutrons, and electrons, so they could not interpret on that basis. Today we know these things, and we can include that in our interpretation. And when you put all of that together, as I said, I certainly didn't just make this up. And because I am somewhat close to the end of my life, I would be really foolish to just be, you know, presenting ideas say for instance, I didn't feel I had good reason to say the things that I said. I would be much more careful about saying them. I am saying them, even though taking some risk. I don't think Allah will punish me. Somebody in this world could punish me. But I think Allah would say to me something like, "Well, at least you tried," and that would be enough.